Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews, and welcome to October Q&A. Now I'll start off with what's new here at Ozzie Reviews. Now guys, what I'm going to start mentioning more of is how YouTube is unsubscribing you guys who are subscribed to me. I've had people 8 and 9 times now being unsubscribed and having to resubscribe to my channel. So please, can you check right now? Just pause the video, have a look, and make sure you're subscribed and that you've got that bell notification on so that you get the notifications when I release a new video. So please check that, guys, and let's help me fight back against what's happening, because I believe, in my view, it's just completely wrong. Also too, we've got Christmas coming up, guys. I know I've been asked about rifle bags because they're out of stock. Yes, they will be for the time being. I just can't get any more in. However, if you want the M4 rifle bags, I've got a few of them left. I've also got a handful of Gen 2 shotgun bags left as well. So, you know, they fit like obviously your military type rifles like the old 303s, the Swedish Mauser, stuff like that with open sights. It's a good fit for that, as well as like your straight pull shotguns and obviously your under and over, side by side, single barrel, etc. Well, I've got them, and I've also got a handful of pistol bags left. So that's what I do have in stock. So please, if you want to have a look at that, go to aussiereviews.com.au and just go to the shop from there and you'll be able to see that. Also, November is going to be shotgun month, and why I say that is because the long-awaited Bushmeister shotgun is finally here. I have reviewed it. I've also reviewed the new push button Buckmaster shotgun. So if you're sort of undecided, guys, I'd wait until both of those reviews are out, and then hopefully you can make up your mind on that. The Bushmeister will be the first cab off the rank, and at the time of doing this video, it'll be later this week, Friday, I would say it'll be out. Okay, so probably a week after that, I'll get the Buckmaster out. So yeah, you don't have long to wait to be able to see them, okay? Okay, so the first question we got here is from Alan. He says, "Hi Ozzie, I've recently started 22 benchrest shooting and I'd like to get a scope over 24 power magnification. Do you have any recommendations that won't break the bank?" It is a little bit tricky, mate, because as soon as you start getting to that high magnification, you also get to those high dollars, as I'm sure you've seen. But if you have a look at the Loophole competition series, there is a 45 by 45 power optic, and there's also 1/8 MOA adjustments, which obviously is very fine adjustments there for your benchrest shooting. So take a look at that, and I'm sure you'll be happy with that. It's about $2,500 though, but at least it's not $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. So check that out and let me know how you go. Next question I got here is from Rowan, and he says, "Hi Ozzie, hope you and the family are well. I've recently registered a BSA Lee Enfield rifle in 30325. I'll be using the rifle to control foxes, goats, pigs, roos, etc. The barrel and action in the rifle are in good condition, although the stock could do with a cosmetic overhaul. Do you know of any online or hard copy restoration manuals references that I could research prior to dismantling the rifle for this purpose? Or do you have your own advice you could lend me? Thanks in advance, Rowan." Mate, if you go to rifleman.org.uk, they've got a lot of schematics for the old Lee Enfield. So have a look there and you might be able to find something. At least you'll have a little bit of an idea when you're sort of dismantling it there. If you're a Shooters Union member, okay, and I say this because the fella from Shooters Union, Royce Wilson, who runs the Collectors Club, is like a walking encyclopedia when it comes to the old Lee Enfields. He absolutely loves them. So mate, I would send him a email. Just look it up there online. Royce Wilson is the guy you want to talk to, and I'm pretty sure he could probably put you onto someone to be able to help a bit more with that restoration too, should you need it. So check that out. Next question I got here is from Bill, and he says, "G'day Ozzie, I grabbed the new Lithgow 223 and I found it a tad heavy, but easy to handle after I adjusted the length. I'd like to get another Lithgow in 308, but it might be a bit too much for myself and partner to haul around. I was looking at a Tikka Lite in 308. Or can we get a lightweight chassis for the Lithgow? Also looking at Mamba 10 round mags for the 223. What's your thoughts on them? Cheers, Bill. Mate, I would definitely go for a Tikka Lite and 308 if you're looking for something that you can hike around with and you are conscious about the weight of the rifle. That's going to be substantially different to the Lithgow 308. Unfortunately, there's no lightweight chassis that I'm aware of, and usually when you put a chassis on a rifle, it just increases the weight. It doesn't decrease it. As for the Mamba mag, mate, I haven't used them, but I can't see a problem with them. And it's certainly going to give you that added mag capacity when you're out hunting. So, yes, mate, check them out and let me know how you go. Next question I got here is from Matt, and he says, "Hi Ozzie, I was wondering if you could put me on the right track to becoming a feral pest controller. I currently have an AB license and been shooting for a number of years. Though I have the passion about feral pest management and would like to do it full time, and I would appreciate help and steps in the right direction. Keep up the great work, mate. Cheers, Matt." Okay, so mate, I did a video on how to get into this. Basically, it was more tailored towards Cat C and D, but check that video out, okay? How to get your Cat C and D license for feral pest control. That'll give you the basics there. I will repeat it here though, mate. Basically, you want to register a business, get insurance, get contracts, and then you've got to have a business model in place, and then you apply for your license. So yes, the trickiest part of all that is get your contracts. So my advice on that is you need to approach some property owners, and perhaps it's up to you, it's your business how you do it. But I would go along the lines of saying, well, this is what I'm trying to do, and perhaps I'll come out and I'll give you a very heavily discounted rate if we can sign up a contract. Okay, that's probably the best way to do it. So, but have a look at that video, because I think that'll help you out and give you a good understanding of where to start. Next question I got here is from Jack, and he says, "G'day Ozzie, what's your thoughts on the 7.62 by 39 caliber? Good for pigs and vermin control in general?" Mate, I think it is. I mean, you're talking to a guy who had an SKS when he was 11, so, it was a bit of a passion of mine to have that when I was a kid. I absolutely loved the rifle, and the caliber is good. It didn't knock me around like obviously a 308 would when you're a lot younger, and even now, I mean, if you're a little bit recoil sensitive, it's a really good caliber to have. There's a lot of knockdown in it. For those hunting distances, mate, it's really good. It's great for pigs. And I don't think you'll have any dramas with it all. I mean, I remember on the family farm when I was younger and I was chasing pigs with the SKS, mate, we were using full metal jackets. We were chasing the pigs and just bowling them over with it. I mean, now you've got some really good projectiles, hunting projectiles and loads, and you can load it, tailored to the game you're going after, and it's a very, very effective round within the right distance and also within the correct shot placement. So, yeah, mate, overall, it's got an edge on 300 Blackout if you're interested in knowing that. It certainly hits harder than that. Not greatly harder, but it does hit harder than 300 Blackout with high velocity loads. So yeah, there is a fair amount of punch there, and I think personally it's a great little caliber. Next question I got here is from Michael, and he says, "Hi Ozzie, I just wanted to ask you a general question relating to transporting and storage of firearms when you're on holidays. If you were to stay at a motel or a holiday home, what would your advice for storage be?" Okay, if you're in Queensland, and mate, I don't know if you are, but I'll assume that you are in Queensland because I can't speak for the other states, but they have actually changed the weapons regulation here that your travel has to be directly related to the use of that firearm, in the sense of, in other words, you're traveling away up the coast to go to a competition shoot, or perhaps a range, or you're going out west to do some hunting. You can't just go on holiday and take a firearm anymore. That's not how it works under the Act, the regulation. So it puts a little bit of a tighter control on things there. Personally, I think, what's the issue? Why can't you have a firearm and go away, and when you feel like, going to a range or something like that, I mean, you're licensed at the end of the day to have it. So what's the big deal in my view? But anyhow, I don't make the laws. As for when you are away, so basically, mate, you've got to treat it very much the same way as storage when you've got it in your vehicle. So in other words, out of sight in the vehicle in a secure container, or it's locked away like in the boot or in a toolbox or something along the lines of that. If you have access to like secure storage, so in other words, say for example, you were going to a friend's place for holidays, but he was a shooter as well and he's got a safe there. Simply put your firearms in the safe there. As for the motel and everything like that, I mean, the weapons regulation that you really want to have a look at is have a look at like section 5, and I did write down the other section there for you to have a look at. Have a look at the weapons regulation section 95 subsection 2. Okay, they're the two parts that you want to make sure that you adhere to. So check them out, and good luck hunting. Next question I got here is from Isaac, and he says, G'day Ozzie, I've been interested in building a replica Luty submachine gun and can't find anything on whether it would be legal. I think because it doesn't function and was never a firearm in the first place, I should be fine, or do I need a collector's license? In which case I'll wait until I'm 18 in a couple of months' time. Mate, look, you're obviously asking my advice, and my advice would be definitely don't go trying to build any replicas, because unfortunately the powers to be, I believe, will come down on you like a ton of bricks if they believe that you have parts. Some of those parts may be functioning parts, but overall it might be a replica. Look, my advice is if you really want something like that, I'd be going to an armourer and making sure it's all above board. Some may think, look, that's being too cautious, but mate, that's just me, and you've asked for my advice, and that's what I would do. All right, guys, that completes this month's Q&A. So thanks very much to all of you who submitted questions there. If you do want to submit questions, obviously the deal is you need to be a supporter of mine on Patreon, and then I'll either respond to you privately if you don't want your questions read out, or I'll read them out here on the monthly Q&A. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next review.